All right, good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome to a special little one shot that we're going to be doing with some special guests from Adept Icarus. They've been kind enough to let us test out and play their new expansion to Arium, Arium Evolved. It is an expansion, right? That's what you guys are calling it, or is it its own standalone?
It's kind of like a completion.
A completion.
Excellent. Yeah, but it does stand alone.
That's true, which is very fun and something that we're going to be testing today. So before I dive into the details on that, we have joining us today, me and M from Level 1 Geek. Obviously, if you're watching the channel, you guys probably know who we are. And then we got Will and Drew, who are both creators of Arium Evolved. And why don't you guys go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves? Will, you want to start? Talk to the good people?
Sure, yeah. I'm Will. Hi. I make games. That's pretty much all I do.
Like this one.
Yeah.
It's consuming your life at this point.
It does feel that way sometimes. But that's a good thing. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So
it's a fun way to consume the life force, at least.
Yes.
Drew, what about you? Anything you want to add?
Hey, no, I'm Drew. I help other people make amazing games, right? I like to do a little bit of creativity, a little bit of writing, a little bit of world building, and just add 2 cents here and there. So glad to be a part of this project. Love to be hanging out with you guys tonight.
Glad to have you with us. And lucky for you, we're going to be doing most of those things tonight alongside playing the game, because Evolved is great for that. So along with playing Arium Evolved, we are going to be... Just Evolve.
Just Evolve.
Arium Evolve.
Yeah.
Alongside playing Arium Evolve, we're also going to be playing Ryuutama, because, like Will said, this is also a standalone game that can supplement other TTRPGs really well. So we are going to be playing the base rules of Ryuutama. We've done that on our channel before. I'm not going to go super in depth on Ryuutama gameplay like we normally do, since the focus of today is Arium Evolve. If you guys want to hear more about the rules of Ryuutama, check out our channel. We've got, I think we have a session 0 recorded where we made characters and went over the rules, and then we have 3 or 4 sessions of it out there. So check it out there. But today, it's going to be the underlying game that we're going to play alongside with Evolve. All right, with that out of the way, today I have put together some pre-made characters for all of you. I let you guys pick the classes out of 4. So Will today is going to be playing a minstrel, Drew is going to be playing a chef artisan, and Em is going to be playing a healer. We've kind of gone over their characters off screen, but we'll be kind of explaining more about them as we go through the session. Now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to read a little snippet that I wrote to describe the setting and where you guys are. And while I'm going through that, you guys can just be thinking about, what did your characters look like? What's their names? And just kind of think of a general personality you want for your character. And then we'll definitely flesh those out more as we go through. So, we begin our adventure today as 3 travelers are scattered where they fell, across soft earth and tangled roots, half caught in the undergrowth. For a time, there's nothing, no movements, only the quiet rustle of leaves above the slow, steady breathing of bodies that should perhaps not be breathing anymore at all. But then there's something small that moves. Faint skitters across fabric, a soft brush against a hand, a near silent flutter of wings, light and drifting as petals. It's not one thing, but it's many. Tiny shapes that gather around the fallen travelers. Beetles that gleam faintly in the dim morning light, bright-winged butterflies that drift lazily through the air, and little things that crawl and flutter and weave between strands of hair, beneath collars, and along unmoving arms. Now, these bugs don't bite, they don't sting, they simply do some kind of mysterious work. A warmth begins to bloom, soft and gentle, like sunlight flittering through the leaves, and it settles into each of the travelers slowly, easing the stiffness in their limbs and quieting the deeper aches beneath the surface. Your breath starts to deepen, your muscles loosen. Something unseen carefully mends what it can to your grave injuries. Not everything, though. Your bodies are tended, but something else is missing. Where there should be certainty and remembrance, there's only a haze. Where there should be direction, there's only a vague sense of a journey. Faces and names are familiar, and there's memory of a conflict, but you can't remember the reason for it. Nearby, the forest carries on as if nothing has changed. A breeze drifts lazily through the canopy, and leaves whisper to one another. Somewhere in the distance, a bird calls, and another answers. This warmth lingers for a moment longer and then fades away. The tiny shapes begin to disperse, slipping away into the undergrowth and back into the air in the quiet spaces between roots and leaves, as though they had never been there at all. The travelers are left with only what remains on their person. No packs, no provisions, no animals, just the open wilderness and a growing, undeniable hunger. A hand twitches, a breath catches, and the world begins to return heavy and unfamiliar to your minds and your vision. Just beyond you, hidden among leaves of dappled light, something gathers. The scattered wings return and the tiny bodies converge. From that quiet swarm, a shape starts to form. A young woman, light and delicate as spring itself. Long green hair falls around her like trailing ivy. Her eyes are bright with curiosity, watching the travelers unseen off to the side. One might watch the opening line of a story. Small insects linger on her shoulders and sleeves, resting as though they belong to her and she belongs to them. She does not step closer, she does not speak, she only watches. If they had remained still, if their breathing had faded into silence, it would have been a very short story, a very small meal. But now there is hunger, confusion, and a long road with no clear beginning and no clear end. This is much better. The girl tilts her head, satisfied. Then without a sound, her form loosens. Edges blur, colors break apart, and she becomes many once more. A single beetle lifts into the air, circling lazily above the setting again nearby, hidden and patient, watching and waiting. Far away, somewhere warm and safe, a small dragonling stirs in its nest. And here in the quiet woods, its meal has just begun. So, you guys all awaken. Your memory is very hazy. Now, none of you all maybe remember the bugs crawling all around you vaguely as you woke up, but none of you saw that. None of you guys saw that woman that was watching you. Now, in Ryuutama, that woman is my character, the Ryujin. And the purpose of a Ryujin and Ryuutama is they are caretakers of little baby dragons that form the great parts of the world. And the dragons are fed by them watching travelers, gathering their stories, and turning them into a travelogue. So they're not really on the traveler's side necessarily, unless it's for making good story, because a good story feeds their baby dragon. So all of you awake, you remember each other. You all remember that you're on a journey. It is standard for everybody in your culture to take one grand journey in life. And you remember that you set out on that journey, though everything is a little bit of a haze. You don't remember what that journey is. You vaguely remember home. You don't remember where you're going. You don't remember where you came from. You remember that there was some kind of conflict and that you were gravely injured. It was some sort of creature, though even that is a bit hazy in your mind. And you know that you had a lot more gear than this, and it is all missing. You just have some of the basics that are on your person. So as you all awaken, feeling much better all of a sudden, let's go ahead and before we get into roleplay, let's do character introductions. We'll just go around the table. Tell us a little bit about your character. And then before we get started in the roleplay, we're going to use our first evolve mechanic, and we are going to do relationships by doing some Arium storms and making connections with each other, so you guys kind of know how you all know each other. I'm just going to go based on my camera view here, which is going to be Will. Why don't you go ahead and go first and tell us a little bit about your character?
Okay. My character is Hatake. He uses he, him pronouns, and Hatake is a minstrel. So, I guess as a minstrel, some ability with magic, which is kind of cool. I'm excited to see and like discover a little bit more about this character as we get going, but I'm trying to leave it kind of blank at the moment.
Love it.
Yeah,
perfect. All right, what about you, Drew?
So I'm playing the chef today. My character's name is Raekwon and he, him, and excited to explore the world and share my flavors and techniques and discover some along the way. Feel like Raekwon's out to do, I think the term is staging, right? To go out to other restaurants and help out and learn and all of that. Doesn't necessarily think that he doesn't maybe necessarily know that that's his purpose right now because he's trying to figure things out, but that's sort of the intent I have behind him.
Fantastic. I love it. All right. And last but not least, what about you, Em?
Today, I'm going to be playing Miri. She, her pronouns. Miri is probably around 37 years old. She stands at a fair height of 5'7" and has like cropped hair at her chin, tucked behind her ears, perpetually falling out. She keeps having to push it back. Her skirt is a patchwork of similarly colored and textured fabrics, but not exactly the same. Mostly dark blues. She looks practical, and she has worn hands from washing them all the time. Healer. She is not magically inclined at all. And all of her healing has to come through technique and the herbs of the earth.
So fun. I love that. All right, excellent. So those are our 3 heroes that just woke up freshly healed. Memory is hazy. And I guess travelers, maybe you're not heroes yet. We don't know who you are yet. So let's go ahead and we're going to use the evolve rules for forming relationships and connections. So we're going to use the relationship question section of the rules here, Will and Drew. Would either of you like to talk a little bit about how those work, or would you like me to go through it?
As with everything within Arium, it's all about collaboration, right? It's all about collaborative world building, collaborative storytelling, making sure everybody at the table has a voice and that everybody is excited with how the game is progressing, the story that's being told, and the place it's being told in. So relationships is one way through character creation or when a new character is introduced. It is an opportunity for the group to get together, ask some questions, and figure out relationships really quickly. And also in the process, like immediately create a little bit deeper of a backstory very organically.
Yeah.
How did I do, Will?
You did great.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just to be clear with everybody watching, the purpose of this, so the players here, I put together some pre-mades. I literally showed them the pre-made stats like a couple days ago. We didn't pre-set up anything. So we're gonna play around with the improv that Evolve brings, because I think that's one of the really cool things about it is not all players are equally as good at like thinking on their feet and coming up with stuff. And when you turn it into kind of a collaborative experience like this, I think it really helps people like just start to integrate their characters with each other and their ideas. And if somebody's struggling, creativity flowing around the whole table is going to rub off on other people. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So I think the first step for relationship questions is that we're going to do an Arium Storm, which to give a quick rundown of an Arium Storm, if anybody's played Arium Create, it's very similar to how that works, where the players are going to throw down some sticky notes with some ideas, and we are going to just run a timer. Do we have a timer on here, Will, or do you want me to just kind of put a timer on the side for us?
I can use a timer on here if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, but I think, are the storms limited now to everybody produces no more than 3 ideas in the time limits?
You could choose.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's stick to 3 just for time's sake. And let's go ahead and let's just keep it to a minute. 3
Okay.
ideas. And for relationship questions, what we're doing is you guys are going to be creating questions not necessarily for yourself, but they're going to be questions that you're asking to another PC to prompt interesting, complex answers about their shared past. So some of the examples they have in the book are things like, what secret do I know about you? Why don't we get along? do you still love me? But we're going to avoid questions that might force a background on another character, or that just don't offer any connectedness. And some of the examples to not do are, why did you kill all the people at the monastery? Or what's your favorite color?
Very, very open ended, but that can elicit some background, right? And forgive me, Will, these don't necessarily have to be questions that our character is asking another. These are just a general pool of questions, and then we will choose the questions we want to be asked to other characters after this.
Right.
So we're just generating a general pool of questions that can be asked from any one character to another.
Excellent. All right, yeah. Let's go ahead and start the timer then, and you guys take it away. Start jotting down some ideas. All right, go ahead and wrap up the last sticky note that you're working on.
Oh no, I only did 2.
That's okay. That's fine. That's not a problem, because that's
Are you
why
sure?
we have so many. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now, correct me if I'm wrong. We don't do a vote on relationships. We just leave this pool here, and everybody's going to choose 2 and dish them out to the other players. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So the ones that we have, why do I feel responsible for you? What's an interest we share together? What's the first thing you remember about me? Why didn't we get along until now? Who do you like more than me? What is your fondest memory of our journey together? Was there something I did to offend you? What was your first impression of me? So we're going to go around, and now you guys can use the same one. So if 2 of you want to use the same question, you are allowed to do that. And I know your characters kind of have amnesia, but these can be fun ways where you're getting little snippets of memories that come back to you. So don't worry so much about that. And we'll just go reverse order of the last round table. Why don't you pick 2? And pick 1 and give to Will, and pick 1 and give to Drew.
Okay. Will, why didn't we get along until now is going to be one that I assign to you.
Why don't we let's just answer them as we go, and
Okay.
you guys can note them down, and we'll just do our connections as we go through.
And do I answer this, or does Will answer this?
I believe, if I'm not misunderstanding, you give that to Will, and he answers it as if he's answering for your PC.
That's right.
That's
Yep.
correct. Yep.
Let's see. Probably because it took me a while to gain respect for your non-magical way of healing. But once I saw you in action, I have the utmost respect for your abilities.
Yeah. Okay. I like that a lot. I imagine there's probably some heated discussions about this.
Yeah.
All right. And Drew. I'm going to choose one of your questions. I'm going to go, what is your fondest memory of our journey together?
All right. Probably how passionate you got when I needed to keep us alive, right? To keep us sustained. You were very passionate about not killing any venison, any deer, but there was one there that I knew I could take down, and we would eat well for many days because of it. But you were very, very passionate about it. If I can be a little prescriptive, because of how beautiful you believe deer are and how graceful they are.
I love that. Cool.
Okay.
Excellent. Those are so good. Great questions.
And while we got a little spicy in the conversation, like it's a very fond memory because of just how much love you had for that.
Can I say that I actually have like a doe and a fawn tattooed on like my back of my shoulder?
Sure.
I love it.
Works for me.
So awesome. Great. All right, let's go with Drew next. So, Drew, you go ahead and pick a couple questions. Dish one out to M, one to Will. And you can pick the same questions M did if you would like.
Great. So I feel like Will Hatake, is that right? Making sure.
Hatake, yeah.
Okay. What is an interest we share together?
Okay. I mean, this might be the really obvious question, so maybe not. Actually, I'm going to change it. My first impression was, hey, we both like to eat really well, but you know what? Who doesn't like to eat really well? Let's say instead we both share a passion for interesting and strange, unique foods. How about that?
Okay. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very fitting with your chef artisan skills.
Y'all are eating slime from a riverbank, and I'm just watching in disgust.
Yes.
You have no idea how much protein is in that slime.
All right. And then, Drew, go ahead and pick one more and dish it to M's character.
Hiri, what is the first thing you remember about me?
I like this. I like this. The very first thing that Miri remembers about you is the sound of oil in a hot pan. It's like that sizzle and that fragrance of garlic and onions. And she followed her nose down an alleyway and into a backdoor kitchen to where you were cooking. And the first thing she saw was like just your back and just this cloud of like smoky steam roiling. And she just remembers for the first time in her life, she felt truly hungry.
Wow. I love it.
So good.
I love it. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Last but not least here, Will. Why don't you go ahead and pick a couple questions? Dish one to Drew and one to M.
All right. Drew.
Yeah.
For Raekwon. So, what's your fondest memory of our journey? I'm going to go with that one. Together.
Okay. Man, this is easy. Because one thing that is true about Raekwon is that he is always flabbergasted when a true master of their craft is really putting their craft on display. And this was a moment when we stumbled upon sort of like a grove of baby dragons, and we were in a pretty perilous spot. And you, man, did you perform your butt off and mollified and actually put all of these dragons back to sleep so that we could peacefully leave, because we meant them no ill intent. We just stumbled upon them, but it was a very dangerous situation, and Raekwon could do nothing but just have his mouth agape at the performance you put on. It was delicate and beautiful and melodious and just like so gentle and serene that, like, had his adrenaline not been through the roof, he may have fallen asleep right there himself.
That's amazing.
Ah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And within Ryuutama, for sure.
Okay.
Yep. Speaking of, that's a good thing to address. So with Ryuutama, the world is pretty like it's pretty up to the group to decide. It is fantasy. It's supposed to be a little bit on the cozier side of fantasy, but the
Mhm.
theme is kind of determined by the color of the Ryujin. In this case, we're playing green, which is about like travel and journey, and it's kind of like your standard fantasy experience. The only thing is, you guys would definitely not want to kill dragons because dragons are kind of what make the world what it is. So they can be dangerous, but you don't want to kill them if you can avoid it.
Of course, a
I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
dragon
was.
would be
perfect.
dangerous. What do you think?
But
Obviously.
man, I don't know. I'm not gonna let all the secrets out of the bag, but like, there's definitely a burning question of like, what do they taste like? Oh,
Raekwon!
Raekwon wants to know.
Raekwon just puts everybody to drought by eating a rain dragon. Good stuff. All right, and then you've got one question left, Will.
All right. So for Miri, why do I feel responsible for you?
I
Good
like
one,
this
good one.
question a lot. Okay. Mm, Can we say that my brother used to be part of our our journeying party and you two were really good friends and that's why I came out on this journey and then for whatever reason that we don't recall, my brother is no longer here with us.
Ooh, a mystery. I love it. That's great.
So good. All right,
Sowing some
fantastic.
seeds there, some sprinkling some plot points, and I love it.
Yes. Now we've got a much better understanding between these characters. So, I mean, yeah, that right there, that is evolve relationship questions. Very effective. I love it. Now, the last step that we have here to determining the relationships is each of you, now that you have a little more information of how your characters interact with each other, you're going to choose a type of relationship. And this is basically just going to be like a one to a few words description of what your relationship is to one another. They have a list here of relatives, found family, friends, allies. There's a list here that you guys can go through. Um, and if you don't want to pick one of those, you can also just choose your own. And now I believe that this does not have to be the same between each player, right? Like M can have one for
Correct.
her
right.
character with Drew, and it can be different between the two of you. So,
Yeah, that's
That-
correct. Like, yeah, go ahead, Will.
I was just going to say, I think it's one of the funnest things about it, right? Like,
Mhm.
as we've been playtesting this for a long time now, as we originally set it up, it's like, oh, you determine the relationship type between the two characters. But what's really fun about it is one person might see it completely one way, like, oh, you're my rival, right? I maybe we get along, but I'm always trying to do anything you can do better. And then the other person might see them as, their roommate or romantic
This is my
potential
best
partner or
friend. Oh, you're
friend
so
or
funny.
anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I love that. Okay. Drew, you're the one who hasn't gone first yet. So let's start with you on this one. Why don't you go ahead and define
Oh
the
boy,
relationship from your perspective with Hatake
yeah.
and
Miri.
Miri?
Okay, I'm gonna try to stretch this a little bit. I think that Hatake, Hatake, uh, we are magically bonded.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. And we are actually working on how can we combine your magic and my skills in these uber rare ingredients to create a truly unique magical dish for the land.
That's awesome. All right. And what about Raekwon and Miri?
Found family.
Mhm.
Oh,
Very simple. There's just a connection there. So, at least from my perspective. So, um, I don't know. For me, it's big brother, little sis, even though she's probably big sis. So,
love it. So good. All right. Will, what about you?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna play with it a little bit because I want this to be yeah. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. So I'm gonna say for Raekwon, I'll come back to that. For Miri, I think I'm gonna go with friends. I think friends. Friends is good.
Mhm.
I think that it's a relationship that's probably evolved, right? Maybe wasn't friends originally. It was more like, oh, I have to take care of this person, but now friends. And for Raekwon, I'm gonna go with rivals. Yeah, I think that's fun.
Ooh.
So
Mhm.
we may be trying to create some magical thing together, but I might do it first. So
Okay.
So good.
Love it.
All right, Em, what do you got for
Oh,
these two?
oh boy, this is a really fun one. Okay. Um, I'm really torn for Hatake. Hatake? I said it so
Hatake.
confidently the first time. Now I'm like tripping on myself. All right. So for Hatake, I am thinking I'm going to say partnerships. She joined this
Okay.
because of her brother. She's keeping the job going. But yeah, I think maybe she even resents you a little bit, the fact that she's even out here on the road.
Okay.
If that's cool with you.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. And then for the chef extraordinaire, how can you not have some romantic feelings for the person who feeds you so well? If you're okay with that, Drew.
I'm okay with that, my friend, for
Sweet.
sure.
Excellent. All right. We've defined the relationships and yeah, that is evolved relationships. That was really fun. Great mechanic, you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you.
It's cool because you're thinking of this process through your character, and maybe those background questions have like informed or started to lead you in a direction, but the way the different relationship kind of come together, the it gives another layer of complexity to it, and especially when you can have opposing or very interesting twists between how my character looks at you two and how your characters look at me. It's so cool.
Yeah, I loved it. That was excellent. Okay, well, now we've got an idea of who is waking up with some faded memories. So the last thing I'm going to go over before we jump into some role play is I'm going to give each of you to start with one evolution token, which is another mechanic in Evolve. And Will, I'm going to let you go ahead and kind of explain the gist of what an evolution token is.
Yeah. So an evolution token is a concept of the game. Actually, all of the Arium games have some sort of token. Create has creation tokens, Discover has discovery tokens, and Evolve has evolution tokens. And they kind of, there's an economy of those tokens if you play all three of those things together. But if you're not playing them all three together, then they also can stand alone. So with Evolve, one evolution token will let you do a couple of things. It'll let you sort of direct a scene. Usually, these are more downtime focused activities, but the GM can decide how they want to use them. You can allow a spotlight on another person for like a vignette of a downtime activity, and you can also call for an Arium storm and add some more detail to the world with the token.
Excellent. Very fun.
Yeah.
So you guys will each have one of those. You by no means have to use them through the session, but if you want to play around with them, you've each got one. All right. And
Great.
with all of that, Ryuutama is a game that's very much about exploration. You guys are all waking up on your journey, not really remembering where you are. You do remember each other well. You remember everything we just went over in the relationships. but everything is just kind of hazy at the moment. You just know that you're waking up and you're hungry. So as you guys wake and kind of examine your condition, you do have your weapons on you. Whatever robbed you did not disarm you. You still have some of your travel gear on you. And luckily, the chef, Raekwon, you still have your very large backpack with you that has some pretty nasty looking food in it, but it looks like it's enough rations for each of you for a day. And you also have your camping gear. Miri, you have some of your healing herbs on you. So why don't we go ahead and let's just let you guys role play out as you guys are waking up. I'm going to interrupt you really quick. Actually, this might help with role play. So let's do our first part of a journey as well for Ryuutama, because that'll kind of give you guys your mindsets of how you're feeling as you wake up. So basically, each day in Ryuutama is all about travel and the journey. Now you can stay in one spot and skip some of these steps, but the core 4 steps that we go through every day, which the steps can be skipped if applicable, but we always start the day no matter what with a condition check with everybody. Now a condition check is going to be a strength plus spirit test. You roll it and you determine your physical condition for the day. And that will change. So basically when we do our first eating, it's going to determine where our condition's at, but let's just do a practice condition check. Everybody roll strength plus spirit, and let's see how you were feeling from
11.
11.
A 6 and a 5. I'm really thrilled about it.
Wow.
All right, so you are feeling fantastic. 10 or higher means you are feeling in high spirits.
Huh.
What about
What
you
does
two?
Hop mean?
I mean, I don't have a really good potential for this because my strength's only 4 and my spider is 6. So it could have been bad. It could have been bad, but I got 9. So,
wow. Okay. So you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling close to great. And what about you,
And
Drew?
I'm at an 8.
Okay, yeah. You guys, despite having just been really battered and waking up with your memory gone, you're feeling pretty good this morning. So
Amazing. So in that case, Chase, Mary is going to sit upright extremely abruptly and then pop up onto her feet and just turns in circles, searching the ground. Where did it go? Did you guys remember that? I'm pretty sure we were healed by beetles. Look around your feet. I need some of those. The beetles! The beetles!
Oh.
I'm pretty sure beetles don't heal people, Miri. It's okay. If you had a dream, we can talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the poor thing is brain damaged. Come here, let me look in your eyes. You look fine. What about you, Raekwon?
I am fine.
Oh,
No, you saw him too?
I did.
Okay. I don't know. Did they heal me? I could use some now. Looked a little delicious. I could probably do something with them.
Could you think about anything but your stomach for just a moment?
Look, no, not when we just wake up in a random place. And no, I would like a full belly before today's journey.
Thrice damned dragons. I guess I'm not getting these. Is it possibly a spell? Was it? Is there a beetle spell that heals? If so, I remain uninterested.
if anybody wants to know about that, you could roll an int plus int check. And before I do that, Em, it is also worth noting you're over 10 on your condition, which means for today, you get to choose one of your stats to boost by 1 step. So you can boost something from an 8 to a 10, a 6 to an 8,
an 8 to
4
a
to a 6.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
How do I re-roll my?
I think I'm gonna raise my intelligence from a 6 to an 8.
Okay. Sorry, did anybody want to roll on that?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Intelligence? I just raised that. Double
Int
eights.
plus int. So you're going to roll the intelligence size twice.
Ooh, a 1 and a 6. So I only got a 7.
A 7. It is no spell that you have heard of with healing beetles.
Well, Hakate, any memory of such things? Any story you can dredge up?
I could roll.
Yeah, excellent.
That's a 13.
A 13. You do know that there is some powerful magic that could be done by dragons or by a Ryujin. Now, people are aware of what Ryujin are. They're kind of told in legends, though you know that they are very rare to be seen. They purposely try to hide themselves. You know, if you did catch the attention of a Ryujin, it means that you're probably on a pretty grand journey.
I think there is a possibility of this tale being much grander than perhaps we thought. And, Miri, certainly, if anyone could learn a spell like this from among us, it wouldn't be you. But
Dang.
With a
but
huff,
you're a wonderful healer without it, so I don't think it's necessary.
the huff, Mary is going to bend over, grab a straw hat from the ground, and clamp it firmly over her head. Well, I'm going to look around for some beetles just in case. Get yourself ready. We have to go to. Where do we have to go to?
That question seems to fall blank on all of you. You feel like something is just there out of reach, but it's not coming up. The thing that does come up is, as you're all thinking, there is just a deep ache in your stomach. You feel like you've not eaten in quite some time. Which leads us to the next part of the condition check. Now, preparing food at the start of the day is a standard procedure to make sure everybody is fed throughout the day. That usually requires like a little bit of time in the morning eating your food. So you guys can each now, Drew, I'm going to have you describe in a minute what those disgusting rations are that you find in your pack. But also let's talk about an ability that you have, Raekwon, which is trail cooking. So normally you just minus the rations, you eat them. If you eat disgusting rations, it means tomorrow's condition check is going to be worse. But you have an ability called trail cooking where you can roll a strength plus dex check. And just before eating the rations, you can upgrade the taste of a number of rations depending on your success.
Okay.
So whenever you guys are
Great.
ready to narrate and eat some food, that is the next step of the day.
Yeah, so with the snark flying right out of the gate between these two, right? Raekwon kind of gets himself up, dusts himself off, and immediately, as he would take inventory of his pantry, which is his very large, like ridiculously large, comically large backpack. That somehow is like, like he could probably have somebody ride on it on his back as they're walking the trail. So he immediately goes in and is rummaging around, and there's, not a lot in there, but somehow there's a lot of clanking that happens, and he kind of sighs deeply and he pulls out a leather wrapping, and it's like dripping something, right? Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get that stink out of the bag for a while. That's going to require a deep clean. And he pulls it out and starts to unfold it on this like magically convenient large flat rock in the grass. And he unfolds this leather wrapping, and in there are some of the grayest like tentacles you've ever seen. Not like dark gray, but like absent of color, sort of flaccid tentacles. I don't know how else to say it.
Okay, you tried to find a better word, and that was just what it was.
This is
Sometimes the
that's
word is just
you
the
need.
word. Yeah.
Sorry.
Can't wait for
So these
flaccid
things,
tentacles to be on your Kickstarter page.
yeah, man, I'm so gosh, that's gonna haunt us. Yeah. They're just slimy and old, right? Like they're not fresh at all. And he sighs like, oh, like not even the good tentacles, right? Like this is just like bluebird squid, right? Like I don't know. This is not great. However, we have a little bit of food, so just can you guys just give me a few minutes, right? Like there's no way I'm gonna let you just eat this. Immediately does a couple of things, right? Is able to get just like a really simple fire going, right? And takes another conveniently nice flat but like pretty thin stone and puts it over a couple of rocks with the fire underneath it and is getting that going. And then while that's heating up, just says like, hey, well, you guys just watch this for just give me like 2 minutes, please. Okay. And heads over to where some bushes are, and you can see him sort of huddle, like hunching over and snapping off a few things and smelling them and tasting a couple, and then he comes back and has like yanks a couple things out of the ground, and he comes back and starts first pulls out. He's got this big, beautiful leather sheath on his hip, and he pulls out this gorgeous knife, one on each hip. The one that he brings out is a broader, flatter blade, but with a very straight front, blunt end to it. And while it's not ornate, you can tell it's well cared for, and it is very sharp. And begins right on that stone, cutting up a few things. And within a minute, the squid is diced up, the tentacles are diced up, and they're on there sizzling. And he's sprinkling some of these little plants that are in there. He turns and gives a little wink to Miri and reaches into one of the outside pouches of his bag, right, and pulls out a bag of what the group has come to understand are a very special, not like aggressively spicy chili, but like a wake you up sort of chili. And takes a couple and just kind of they're dried, and he just kind of rolls them in his hand and just lets the powder sprinkle down onto them. And that changes the entire aroma and dynamic of the squid very quickly.
Excellent. Let's have you roll your trail cooking, and let's see how well all of this works.
Should have done this before I set the stage. Huh?
Well, I mean, there's always chance for like failure in cooking. It can look great and then suddenly turn south.
Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay, a 7
excellent.
Is going to be enough to make all 3 of the rations delicious.
Oh, hey, I'll take it, you know.
Or sorry, not delicious. I should say they were disgusting. They are now normal rations. So
okay,
delicious.
That's amazing with what you started out with.
Serviceable, right? Yeah.
Notably, if anybody ever gets 2 of the highest number on their dice, then that is a critical in this game.
Okay.
So
critical on either end, right?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Yep.
Doubles on high, doubles on low. Gotcha.
Yep. Well, doubles is
max.
Doubles is interesting because, like, if you get a 4 on your D4 and an 8 on your D8, that is a critical. So the highest number on both dice that you're rolling.
That's cool.
Yeah, I worded that poorly. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I'm with you though. I got you.
All right, yeah. So you've got these squids. They are now suitable rations.
Great. Yeah. Hey, dig in. Just it's what I could do.
Now, you do realize as you're cooking this up, your pack is otherwise empty of food. It looks like this is your last run. So is everybody going to eat?
Yeah.
If you don't eat, you'll suffer penalties the next day. But
well, I'm hungry now.
I
had to nudge Miri with an elbow and say, well, hopefully he doesn't poison us all to death this time.
Ha ha.
Because I forgot to, I skewered these
Mm.
tentacles, so I hand each of you a stick, right? And enjoy now. I don't know, put it in your pocket. I don't know, whatever you want to do. This is what I've got, but we should be on the lookout for something else, maybe a little on the tastier side to start with going forward.
Love it.
Well, I must admit, it does look adequate.
It is.
And
It's gonna wake you up.
It's truly a miracle what you can pull from nothing.
fantastic. All right. You guys eat up your meal. Your stomachs settle down very much. And you guys now find yourself kind of in the middle of nowhere. You guys can tell you're in like a pretty lightly wooded area. You can see like the exits of the woods around you. It looks like it opens out into open grasslands. And if you guys are looking at the mural board, we're going to talk a little bit about mapping and traveling in Ryuutama because it is the core of the game. You guys are this little token right here. And so you guys can see around you, kind of to the east, west, and south, is pretty heavily forested areas. Up to the north, you guys see some like gentle hills and some light mountains. And then far away, kind of an arc around you, are some pretty intense looking mountains. So you guys, as we play this game, are going to decide what your game plan is with traveling each day. Now you can just shelter in place if you want to, though you guys are out of food. Oh, I guess also notably, you do have some water in your pack as well, Raekwon, and it looks like it's enough water for all of you to be able to suitably get by for a few days before you're going to start having problems.
Okay.
But yeah, so for traveling, you guys can shelter in place. You guys can travel around and thoroughly explore a space. Basically, as you travel through spaces, there is a chance that you might run into something interesting there. If you feel like there might be more to find, you can thoroughly explore it, and that can be your travel for the day. Or you can choose another space or hex or square, right? And you can choose to travel to that square. And then at the end of the day, you guys can either keep traveling and push yourselves, or you can set up camp, restore hit points, restore mana points, and or magic points, and not suffer penalties the next day. So, with that in mind, before we make a group decision of what you guys are going to do, let's do the next evolve mechanic, because this is going to give me some help on what we're doing, because just like the players, I'm completely winging it today using the evolve rules. So
All right.
we're going to use the mapping section of evolve. And Drew or Will, I'll let you guys choose who wants to explain this, but why don't you tell us a little bit about how this works?
I could take it if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, so there's a couple different modes of mapping in Evolve, and I believe the one we're going to do today is the hex mapping.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a dungeon mapping set of concepts for this, but basically what we do is everybody spends some time writing down concepts for hexes on a hex map. And we have some guidelines for what can go on those ideas. So we'll put them on sticky notes. If we were playing in person, we would just use sticky notes in person is a great way to do it. But here you can use the virtual ones. We can time this if you'd like to. But also we don't have to. We can just say, the GM can say, hey, I want you to make this many rooms or this many hexes, and so just do that. And that's what we would do. But yeah, basically every one note represents one space, and we'll create them together. Everybody creating their own, and then Chase gets to sort of decide like what to do with them, and if he wants to use them or not, and where they go, and stuff like that. So yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah. Just to, because part of this is adapting to the game you're playing, right? And we have like a little bit of predetermined information just based on the map sheet that we have here of we've got forests, we've got mountains, we've got hills, but we can still use this to define other features within these areas like a river or things of that nature, and then obviously what other themes and contents would fit there.
Yeah, exactly. And I have this mapped out just to fit the rules of Ryuutama. This is kind of for the
Yeah.
general terrain checks. But when you guys write
Yeah.
these, I get to choose where they go, correct? And so I can take your ideas, place them where they're applicable. You guys won't necessarily know where. And it's going to help me flesh this out.
So Chase, question for you then.
Uh-huh.
So is this essentially like a map that we have and we're like, okay, yeah, we think we can go this way and there'll be a mountain this direction, but potentially we could cross into a square and it'd be very different than what we expected?
Correct.
Cool. All right, I'm following.
Yeah. So, and then you guys have a format, right, of writing these out. So you're going to write the theme, and then did you guys are we naming the hex? Is that something that we still do with this?
Can. Yeah.
Excellent. So theme and a name, and then you're going to include its contents, which is going to be travel challenge, encounter probability, climate, sustenance level, and locations. So why don't we go ahead? Let's have you do a minimum of 3, maximum of 5.
Ooh.
We won't worry about a timer. If anybody gets like truly stuck and wants to be done before, that's fine. But everybody aim for at least 3. And let's do some mapping.
Arched up my creative brain.
Great.
Let's go. Chase, are you gonna put some down too?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm gonna be plotting as you guys are putting these down.
Tony the Liger. Tony
I was like,
the
that's
Liger. I sense some silly billies in the room.
Oh, once in a while, we're grasping at straws to get the words.
Sometimes
right?
a little bit of manic energy is exactly what you need to get words on the page. All right.
Very true.
Will, would you mind reviewing my first one, making sure I did it right? So what I did here is I just thought, okay, a description. It's a flowering forest. I did a little climate. I'm gonna put potential loot as food, and then I put an encounter challenge. But should I have a description of what the creatures are there for, or should I leave that up to the GM?
You can do either way if you'd like. The only suggestion I would have for this would be to just follow the same order as the contents above, so that it's easy for the GM to traverse the list and find the things.
I love that. I love
Yes,
that.
please. Excellent. Well, Drew is wrapping up his last. Let's go ahead and have you guys just read through yours. Now, you can just kind of read through your vague concept. If you feel strongly about one and you want to elaborate on anything, feel free to. But if you want to leave it vague and just have me roll with what you got, keep it as is. Why don't we start with yours, Em?
Okay. So I did a flowering forest. I thought it would just be really cool and pretty if we're in a forest that wasn't just like oak trees or pine trees, but instead they were like elaborately flowered and maybe even like trailing down like wisteria or just like a sakura blossom tree, whatever. I'll leave that up to you. I picture it's like very full of like fruiting and heavy laden branches, but there would be a lot of creatures here that are trying to protect it. And then it's just like an extra layer of complication. How pretty would it be to be standing in a flowering forest with gentle rain? I don't know.
I love that.
The whimsy's high. Then I had a barren grasslands because I was like, what's the absolute opposite of that? Yeah, it's nothing. It's just grass. It's so tall that you can't really see that it's maybe waving underneath because all the grass just grows to the same height. So you might just step somewhere a little bit hard. Terribly windy. And maybe there's like a little goblin camp we could run into. Besides that, I have this web of deep rivers. I just picture it almost like a bunch of rivers, all trailing through, very deep, very full of fish. I left some things just like up to you. as like blank things because I wanted to give you some like creativity, some agency there. And I liked the idea of like a decrepit tower we could all camp out in one night.
Excellent. I love that. This is so good. My mind is spinning with ideas. All right, Will, why don't you go ahead and go over some of yours?
Sure. So I have Mountainous Machinations, which is a rocky place of danger. I don't know how or where it's going to be, but it is on the threat level scale 5 out of 6. So
Oh!
pretty dangerous. And definitely a high chance of mountain foes of some sort. But there is an incredible treasure here of some kind. So
Ooh, I love it.
That again, like I kind of, I like leaving it somewhat vague. I think it's fun, and it allows you to do a lot with it. I think hopefully make it fit your vision of what things are like here. And then I had I have 3 more. So I have the Barrow Hills, and at night there should be ghasts and ghouls there, and it's always raining in the Barrow Hills. And there are, of course, barrows there as well. So, and then we have the Forest of Dreams. It's easy. Is it too easy? Well, we don't know. It's fine. It's probably fine. There's lotus fruit here. Everybody knows that's safe and good. So, if you're really starving, be sure and eat that. And then it's very peaceful and quiet. At least that's what we know about it. And then the last one is the Fields of Jecha. No encounters in the Fields of Jecha. And food such as is seldom seen. But that's all. That's all we know.
I love that. So cool. Nice wide spread.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you, Drew? You ready to share some of yours?
Yeah, let's go through them here. Okay. Sorry, I just decided to name this tile "A River Runs Through It," but I don't have a name for the river. But this is a wide river, not too deep, but a very strong current. Okay, so it's not treacherous because it's deep. It's treacherous because if you fall, you're going to be swept. I gave it like a like a challenge level of a 4 because again, like, getting across will not be easy, but there is a chance to find an abandoned dock, and what is at that dock is totally up to you. It could be a boat, it could be fishing tackle, it could be just a rickety ass old dock, who knows. But fish in the river, and then I put massive insects like Michigan mosquitoes. Like, if you befriend one of those things, it could just pick you up and fly you across the damn river if it wanted to, right? Like, that's how big they get. So yeah, so that's that one. Then I have a place called the Fingers of Death, which is 5 rugged canyons that converge into like a palm sort of area. Another like hard place to get through. Probably this one because of its arid climate. I think I used that word correctly. Very hot days, very cold nights. And so there is potentially a hideout or a hidden treasure, a la Billy the Kid or something, like going out and hiding their riches in the desert. And food, I don't know, lizards, birds, buzzards, maybe some cacti or something that we could work on. Then there's a place called the Cairndale Hills, and I've imagined this as sort of rolling hills with lots of cairns that are supposed to guide you to different places, but they're in disrepair or purposefully set up to confuse people and maybe potentially get them lost. And there is potentially like lost travelers who have perished, and you just have skeletons and backpacks laying about. And somewhere in there are 3 shrines to forgotten gods. And we'll just let everything else be to the our Ryuujin's imagination here. So
Lovely.
And then finally, just a very tropey bandit camp, right? Bandits are here. They're dangerous. It's likely that we will stumble across something like this. And there is, camp supplies, very tropey loot, and a mysterious map. It's rainy there for sure. And at the very least, if we're able to survive, there will be some rations available.
Fantastic. That is some great ideas. I feel like my brain has been filled with the Arium storm, and I've got some thoughts. So
I love
Your
it.
creativity has been watered.
yeah, it's amazing.
Good.
Yeah, if we were doing this long term, I would definitely have some of my own mapped out as well, and kind of. I don't think I would show the group as the GM. I think I would keep them for myself, and you guys have some little surprises coming. But yeah, that's fun.
For sure.
All right, cool.
Well, and the great thing about this is you can just do this when you run out of ideas too, right? Or you get to an edge of the map that you're just not loving the options that have been generated here. You can do another storm and just have a whole new set of locations to explore. Keep in your back pocket.
I love that. It's so good. Cool. All right. Well, we now have our mapping done, and I have got some ideas on where I'm going to apply these. So we're now going to dive in and we're going to play some Ryuutama Evolved, as it were. Just so you guys are aware at home, so the way that I have this set up for this session, we're gonna just kind of sandbox it. We're not gonna have like a full story. We're probably not gonna find out tonight exactly what happened to their memories. That's kind of for you guys to discover along the way. We're just gonna play around. We're gonna explore, and we're gonna worry more about the journey and have some fun with some evolve mechanics. So for you players, you guys are on the phase of making a plan. And unless you're just going to stay in place, the next step of the plan is going to be choosing where you want to go, whether that is exploring thoroughly the square that you're in or traveling to another one. And that is going to require both a direction check for one person who's going to lead the group. And then for everybody, it's going to require a travel check to see how well you handle the terrain, the weather, the challenges. We'll do a brief little narration. And we kind of go, Ryuutama goes a lot of like high level fast forwarding traveling where you're just going to kind of narrate how your traveling went for the day. And then when we hit points of interest, we will zoom in and do a little role playing in your typical TTRPG, doing some deep investigating. So, what's your plan? Where are you guys going to travel today?
Once Mary is done with her meal, she straightens, brushes her hands reflexively across her skirt, and studies the horizon. She talks like she'll turn in like a full circle before looking at the two of you again. We can't stay here. So where are we going?
What have you got against here?
Well, here doesn't have a roof. Here doesn't have more food. Here does not feel comfortable, nor is it home. What do you have in favor of staying here? Atake, or are you just being difficult?
Oh. Difficulty, my friend? I don't think so. That doesn't seem like me at all.
Oh, never. Never, never. How could it be? Any ideas, Raekwon?
Let me just ask out of character really quickly. Like, Chase, can I sort of use the map to influence what our horizons are telling us?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, okay. Right,
yeah, the
gotcha.
topography, I mean, you guys are right here, right? So you can tell there's kind of forests surrounding you to the east, west, and south, hilled and mountainous regions to the north. And a little further off, you have the more treacherous looking mountains. So, I mean, your characters would be able to visibly see that.
Okay. Got you. And you said we have a map. Our characters have a map that has some general knowledge of this topography on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We got a lot of forest, right? The forest means food. Ample food, tasty, delicious, prancing deer sort of food, right? Or, foraging or whatever else might be in there. But
I do like to eat
Oh.
even when you cook it.
Even when.
I know. Also means, oh gosh, maybe a lack of sunlight and
Raekwon, I think you're worrying a bit excessively. Hadake, pull out the
Yeah.
map. Let's take a look.
All right. Unroll the map. Take a good look at it. Well, it looks like. What does it look like?
The map looks pretty similar to this. It's very poorly done. You don't remember making this map yourself, but like you see general like forests and you see like strange marks that don't really make sense. You have to imagine that if you had done this map, you probably would have done a better job.
I'm certain that you made this map. Without a shred of doubt in her body, Miri believes that you're terrible at drawing. Ugh. Really? Okay. Well, it's what we have. Look, there's a little house on that one right there.
I think that does seem like an interesting direction. However, it would be nice to get out of the forest for a while. So, what if we headed to the west with the intent to eventually come to an open space? Maybe some hills.
West sounds good to me.
I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the journey. I think that sounds great. Or, could we potentially just like hug the edge of the forest, right? And have those hills to our side for most of the journey. And not go too deeply in where we run the risk of getting lost a lot easier.
Lost in a forest?
I know. Silly, right?
I think you forget who you're with.
If I remember right, you're actually pretty good at navigating with this shitty map.
The wounds, Miri. The wounds.
Well, get better at drawing.
Do you remember that? Oh gosh, do you remember that ingredient that we needed for our next recipe?
It was probably mushrooms.
Mushrooms? Okay. Seems right. I can't remember mine quite yet, but I remember we needed 2 ingredients. 3?
We could play this game all day, but the sun is wasting.
Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, we know if we're going to find mushrooms, the forest is a great place to forage. And Miri, I agree that I'd be interested to see what the house marking would mean on our map. I think that is quite intriguing for us.
In that case, we're going west, I think.
I think we're going west. So
all right,
Raekwon will smudge out the fire real quick, right? He tries to be responsible in that regard, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, pay attention, kids.
As Raekwon is cleaning up the cooking and the morning setup, so your healer ability, you have 2 chances that you can do this, and it's one or the other. You can do it once per day.
I want to do it now.
Okay,
because I'm looking for those beetles. Maybe I'll happen upon some herbs.
Okay, you got it. Go ahead and let's roll that check for you.
All right, that is my int plus my strength. My int is raised, so I'm rolling a d8 and a d6, and I got a 6 and a 5 again.
Dang!
Wow.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so you find a single healing herb.
Okay.
And you are going to find you're going to find some crowned morning glory. Ooh. And so that is a healing herb. You can use it for your healing ability. The additional effect it has is you can feed it to somebody to ease their sleep. And it makes it so if you feed it to somebody the prior night, their minimum condition the next day will be 6.
Ooh.
All right. You do not find any sign of the beetles. They seem to have vanished into thin air. In fact, you don't see any insects around here.
Damn magic.
And you guys pack up camp and you are going to head to the west. So we are going to do our first journey checks.
Yay.
Now, what this requires is everybody's going to have to make me a travel check. And so, Will, to note for you, for the minstrel, you have a +1 to all of these checks. So these are all journey checks. You get a +1 to all of them. Now, all of you have to make a travel check of strength plus dex to see how well you handle the terrain. And the check is going to be based on the terrain you're going through. And then one of you needs to be the lead to take the directions and find your way to where you're trying to go. One person can help give instructions or can help find the way if they want to. They have to make a additional check and they risk either hindering or helping, depending on they do. So the direction check is an int plus int. So
that's first or
so that way we'll roll that one first and then we'll roll the travel check. So who's gonna lead the way today?
Hatake.
Well, I think so. Yes.
Now, and before you lead the way, keep in mind before you roll dice, you can check your spells. You can apply any spells if you would like to. And you can also, if you would like to concentrating is also an option.
All right. Yeah, I think it might make sense to use the arrow compass spell.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what does that look like?
That is, I think, probably Hatake just has like an arrowhead that is tucked away in one of the many pockets in the like I can't say that
voluminous
word. Darn. Voluminous?
I think so.
Voluminous cloak. And pulls it out and just kind of holds it in their hand and whispers a couple words to it, and it just spins up and and sort of gives like it's floating in the air and it sort of like points in a direction. It costs 4 MP to use that. It's supposed to last for 12 hours, but it gives +1 on direction checks.
Excellent. What one person can try to help, they have to make a check of 5. If they succeed, they help you. If they fail, they hinder you.
Wait, is this int plus int?
Int plus int.
I have
yeah.
D8s.
Yeah, you should help.
Okay. Help.
I also just like mechanically that it is always a help or a hinder, and that seems very apropos for Miri and Hatake.
Yeah. I did get above a 5.
Okay, so you'll get a +1.
All right. So I think I have a total of +3 because of the well-traveled journey check plus, right?
Yep. And if you wanted to sing a song, you could also do that for a +1, but that is optional.
Sing a song, Will. Give us a little ditty.
I can only do that once per day, though.
Oh.
I think I'll wait. Yeah. I think I'll wait. Okay, well, I rolled a 9, so +3 is 12.
All right, 12 is going to succeed. Your check today was going to be 6 + 1, so 7. Yeah, you absolutely crushed it. So you find the way, and you're going to get exactly where you were needing to go. All right, and now for all of you, as Hatake is leading the way with the help of Miri, all of you have to make your own individual travel checks. So this is going to be a strength plus dex, and this is going to determine how well you handle the travels of the day, how tired you get, how injured you get. Again, if there's any spells you want to apply, abilities, concentration. Yeah, Em?
Can I concentrate?
You can concentrate.
I want to concentrate. I'm rolling a D4. I'm rolling a D6 and a D4, and that doesn't feel good.
Okay, excellent. So as a technical typer, you're going to spend half your magic points, a fumble point, or both.
I'm just going to spend half of my. Oh, I'll do it. I'll spend a fumble point. Give myself a +3.
Okay.
Thank goodness I did. That's a 4. Now it's going to be +3 to bring me to 7.
7 is right on the money what you need today. So,
Okay. Good luck to the
excellent.
rest of y'all.
All right, so you take no damage while traveling.
Great. I rolled a 9.
9 is also going to succeed. And what about you? Remember, you still get a +1 on this for your well traveled.
Oh, all right. Well, I got a 4 and a 4, so that's
It's a critic. Oh, is that a critical?
that's surprising. It's not because
Okay.
it was 1 is a 6.
Sure.
Gotcha. All right. So that is going to be a success for all of you. So you guys start heading west, and you guys pretty quickly get out of this little wooded area, and you can see that you walk out into kind of an open, barren grassland, and you see the woods behind you, and you can see there's just a large circle of open grass. And as soon as you get out of the woods, the wind picks up quite heavily and starts blowing. And there's dust kicking up. It just feels like there's a force of nature constantly working against you. It makes the directions a little bit hard to follow, but you guys push through it just fine. So you guys are getting close to the end of the day on your travels. The sun is maybe starting to set. You guys can see off in the distance, you can see a forest up ahead. And as you guys are getting close, you guys also notice something else. The wind starts to settle down as the day winds, and you guys hear what sounds like a bunch of little meowing, like soft little kittens meowing on the wind. And off in the distance, you guys can see there is a little group of tiny buildings, and walking outside of them are little tiny, they look like anthropomorphic kittens with little jars on their head tied with rope around their chins. So, what are you guys doing? Are you guys continuing to the forest, or are you going to investigate?
I think we have to investigate.
I mean, my curiosity is definitely tickled here.
Okay. How do you guys proceed?
What?
I left y'all speechless on this
What?
one.
Yes, you honestly did. Ooh,
Those are jars. There's jars tied to their heads.
It does appear to be. Yes.
Are those cats?
Yeah. No eating the cats.
I mean, look, that was my third thought, okay? But it was not my first thought this time. So
what do you think's in the jars?
What?
It could be like salves.
Milk?
We both say something related to our class.
An instrument?
Everyone's got a harmonica in their jar.
They're pulling ukuleles out of their jars.
Now, Will, I will point out you do have an ability. If you would like to know what this is, the minstrel has an ability. It's called Knowledge or Tradition, which is basically you can roll int plus int to learn about things. Now, this is a little vague in the game. So the way that this will work is if you ever want to use this, you can make the test. If you succeed, I will give you a little bit of information about it. And then I'm also going to let you guys do a evolve rumors and knowledge that you have in evolve. And you guys can also kind of vote on some things that are true or not true about it as well.
I think I have to do that right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I'm so thankful you're with us today, Hata.
Oh my gosh, I almost got a crit. 8 and 6. That's 14.
All right, that is definitely going to succeed. So I, as the GM, am going to give you a little bit of information, and then let's get our sticky notes ready, and let's do knowledge and rumors.
Okay.
Drew or Will, did you guys want to elaborate anything on this section of Evolve?
Yeah, usually it's just set up so that you are putting together ideas of of things, and everything that you come up with, it actually it may not be true, but we're going to vote. Part of it is voting, and so anything that we come up with here, at least one person believes it's real. So even if it gets no votes, there's someone somewhere who thinks that's a thing. It could be one of us. It could be someone that we don't know, but somewhere someone thinks that's real. So it's important to like try and keep the ideas within the theme of the world as much as possible. But yeah, everything could be believed, at least, even if it isn't really true.
Okay.
Excellent.
I,
So what I will...
I really
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
this because it gives us like a sliding scale from conspiracy theory to fact, right? Like there's such a good spectrum of how this can play out. And voting does determine some of like how true something it is, right? But the fact that like someone is gonna believe this thing, one, it does like sort of help keep the idea generation like, I don't want to say contained because we don't put boundaries on it, but like feasible, right? Which can be really helpful from the storyteller side, the GM side of things. Like, just never know when that one character who believes that one thing that you guys ideated 3 sessions ago is going to pop up. It's such an awesome moment.
That's so cool. I love it. Awesome. All right. Well, in this instance, then I'm going to give you guys a kicking off point, which is that with your success, you know that these are Kanoko goblins. Kanoko goblins are intelligent creatures, intelligence varying based on tribe. They are a bit on the wild side of society. And they wear jars on their heads to keep their most valuable possessions. And aside from that, let's do a little Arium storm or squall, and let's have you guys vote on what else is true about Kanoko goblins, or what is rumor, and etc.
Okay. Do you want a timer for it?
Yeah, let's do a cap of 3 things each, and let's do a timer of 2 minutes.
I'm putting our known knowledge in the corner for us to reference if we want.
All right, it's time. Finish up your last sticky note. And then, Em, read yours through real quick.
Yes, of course. Some Kanoko goblins keep smaller goblins inside of their jars. It is polite to meet Kanoko goblins with gifts. And though adorable, Kanoko goblins are capable of great violence.
Fantastic. Will, what do you got?
I've got, they do not take kindly to magic use.
Mm-hmm.
They always offer travelers food, of course, because
Mhm.
why wouldn't they? And they worship people who can cook.
Wow. That would work really well
Thanks.
for us.
Thanks for the
Also
tee up,
great.
Will. Love that.
All right, and Drew, what do you got?
Yeah, to gain the trust and therefore the hospitality of the Kanoko goblin, one must fashion their own jar for their head and add a valued possession.
Drew, that's so good.
Each color of Kanoko goblin values a different type of valued thing. Okay. Colored could be skin, hair, I don't know.
They all have different fur colors.
Oh, fur colors. There you go. So they each fur color Kanoko goblin has a general category of valued thing. Okay, how about that?
Love it.
Kanoko
Spicy,
goblins
sweet.
communicate telepathically. Yes, sour, all of the 5 tastes. Sense.
All right, creators. I don't have this formula memorized. How many votes does everybody get here?
I think 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody vote on 3. Do it to it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So we've got 3 votes for they worship people who can cook.
Fantastic.
We've got 2 votes for both they always offer travelers food and goblins communicate telepathically. And then we've got 2 votes for fashioning a jar on your own head and adding a value possession to gain their trust. And then the rest have 1 vote. So, all right, with that, I mean, this. I think that this knowledge is representation of your what you're thinking through of what you know about Kanoko goblins, Atake. All right, and so what do you do this with this information?
I really hate to. Oh dear. Well, Raekwon, I think you should speak to the goblins. They, you know, your your cooking skills are mediocre at best, but I think they they will appreciate them. Uh,
Man, I've cooked you some good meals, man. Mediocre.
Everyone gets lucky sometimes, I suppose. Yes.
Mediocre, man. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull out all the stops next time. Okay. Oh, so me? You okay.
I think you should represent to them now. If you tell them, if you speak to them in terms of cooking, I think that would be very wise.
Okay, great. Raekwon takes in his surroundings a little bit. You said we're right on the edge of a forest, is that right?
Yep.
Great. Between the windy plains and the forest, huh?
Yep. And here the wind is kind of mellowed down a little bit. It
Okay.
seems like the forest starts to block out some of the wind.
Great. And they're milling about, correct?
Yep. They don't really seem to notice you guys as of now.
And as you're getting ready to approach them, can I do something just really, really silly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to put on. Hatake is going to put on their big announcer voice. Say, behold, the great chef Raekwon.
Yeah, you see cat ears perk up, and you see a bunch of eyes looking towards all of you, and you see all of them kind of look at each other, and they all start yelling, and they raise up little tiny swords, and you see a small little horde of about 3 of them running towards you all.
They're holding swords. How concerned do I need to be right now?
Okay. Swords, and I need to go talk to these guys. What is going?
Talk to them about cooking. Trust me.
Okay.
And what does that mean? Just shout spices at them? Cinnamon.
Yeah.
He's
Raekwon.
the chef.
Yeah, I don't know this culture, right? But I think you flattery by imitation. So Raekwon starts to stride forward and immediately grabs his butcher knife out of his sheath and holds it above his head, right? Not necessarily threateningly, but in a display of I too have a blade.
Yeah, you see they look quite aggressive as they're approaching you and screaming, "Fleshy intruders!" And then you hold up the cleaver and they kind of slow a little bit, seem to take note.
For Hatake and Miri, they won't hear anything, but I am thinking very loudly in my mind, I come in peace.
Excellent.
I am here to cook you delicious food.
Now, Kanoko goblins do quite respect strength, so why don't we, to see if you can get them to be less aggressive, let's have you roll a strength plus spirit.
Ooh, okay.
Remember, if you want to, you do have the option to concentrate.
Mm-hmm. And I will concentrate here, which gives me a +2.
Yes.
So I will use a fumble point here. So double 6s is my, or 2 6-sided dice is my strength plus spirit. Okay, I got a 6 and a 1 for a 7 +2 for a 9.
Oh, excellent. Good thing you concentrated. All right. They kind of slow down as they get close. They still look very wary of you all. A bunch of them are standing in the back line pointing swords at you. But one of them that's like really big and fluffy and grumpy looking kind of stomps up.
Aw.
Still, like the biggest one is still quite a bit shorter than all of you. Is that tool for chef?
To clarify, is he audibly speaking or telepathically speaking?
He is audibly speaking.
Okay.
to
Oh,
you.
damn it. Okay. All right. Raekwon will lower and hold in a manner that respects the blade, right? Obviously not in a way that would ever cut himself, because a proper chef would never do that. This is my blade for cooking. Yes.
He turns around and like looks at all of them, and you don't hear any of them speaking, but they kind of tilt their heads at each other, and you see some of them nodding, and some of them are doing angry hand gestures as if they're arguing. And he's going to gesture back towards the camp, and one of them is going to go running away and then briefly come running back with what looks to be a big dead mosquito, like a humongous mosquito.
I'm familiar.
And he'll hold it up to the big, fluffy, grumpy one. And he's going to come drop the corpse in front of you. Prove.
Do you have a fire that I can access?
He looks at the ground and he takes out a little pointy claw and he points at the ground, and a big flame bursts up in the grass.
Perfect. First thing we got to do, right? And please allow Raekwon here to prepare for you a delicious meal to prove my worth and the worth of my friends. So he begins like, this is nothing, right? It's just like breaking down a chicken or something like that. First thing that happens, a quick deft slice around the joints for the wings, and the wings come off, and he sets those aside very delicately. The next thing that happens is a slice down the back, and the bug starts to split open, and there's a quick removal of the proboscis. And connected all the way through to the stomach that is luckily full of blood. Okay.
Excellent. Let's have you roll your trail cooking skill, and let's see
Great.
how well you prep this up.
Meanwhile, that's being rolled. Miri is half standing behind Hatake. She just has like a small fistful of your cloak. She's still a little bit scared of the situation.
Can I sing the little song?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Yeah. So you're in grasslands and it's windy. So the song has to have something to do with one of those. And that you can name it whatever you want. And then anytime if you were playing a long-term Ryuutama campaign, anytime in the future you were in grasslands or wind, you could re-sing this same song without using your once daily to give a bonus. So.
Okay. Nice. That's really cool. Okay. Let's see. I have to name it. All right. We will call this Mosquito Wind.
Amazing. All right. So for a song, you have to make your check, which is going to be Dex plus Spirit. And then you do have a nice instrument with you. If you use your instrument, you'll also get a +1.
Oh, I will certainly use the instrument. What is my instrument? Do I know?
You get to pick.
Oh, I get to pick? It's a slide whistle. I don't know.
Yeah. Mosquito Wind on the slide whistle is my favorite song.
Yeah.
Mosquito wind, woo, mosquito wind, woo.
My dex plus spider is 6 and 6. I got a total of 9 with the +1.
Right. Excellent. Okay, that's a +1 to you.
Great.
Raekwon.
Man, this is a really important role, I feel like. I can concentrate on this as well, right?
You sure
Okay,
can.
I'm going to use half of
your magic points, a fumble point, or both.
I will use half my magic points to also give me a +2, because I feel like this is a moment within that we do not want to take on a entire litter worth of Kanoko goblins, right? So, so Will, thank you for the assist as well.
Hey, anytime I get to sing Mosquito Wind,
yeah,
you gotta hit me up with those lyrics, man. I want to hear it so bad.
Yeah, do we get a little freestyle from you, Will?
Probably not.
We could play out the whole series with it.
So Will gives me a +1, right?
You give yourself
Hadake
a +2.
gives me a +1, +2 for me. That is an 11 total.
An 11. Man, you guys are just crushing it. All right, yeah. You dice up this mosquito, and you can see that those Kanoko goblins are getting closer and just absolutely drooling. And you finish that up, and the big leader one is going to reach out some claws with a give me motion.
Great. And so there is it is a whole roasted mosquito, finished with a herb infused raw blood sauce, and then right at the end the wings are wafted over the flame, and then he takes and crumples the wings over top for just a little bit of crunch, because you need a little texture for a dish like this.
Nice touch. Yeah, the chief, apparently, by the looks of it, takes a little bite and holds it up triumphantly, and all of the Kanoko goblins come rushing him and asking for some of it. He is going to use a deft claw to slice a good chunk of that mosquito off and toss it nonchalantly to you.
Great.
Just 2 rations worth of mosquitoes. And the rest are going to start hungrily just pouncing and devouring this meal that you just made. Now, as they are feasting on the mosquitoes, you guys hear a loud buzzing coming from the forest. And none of the Kanoko goblins seem to take notice to it. But you guys hear that buzzing getting louder and louder. And then bursting from the forest, you see several of these same mosquitoes you just cooked up live, flying towards you. And these things look dangerous. They've got sword-like proboscises here. And that is going to put us into combat.
Yeah.
Now, one last little thing that we can do here to show off a fun evolved mechanic. So in Ryuutama, when you go into combat, you go into these different areas of the map. You have a combat map, and friendlies are in a front area or a back area. Back area is basically for ranged and magic. Front areas are for melee. So we have 3 mosquitoes coming in. They would be in the front area. All of you were kind of caught off guard because they came flying out of the forest. So they would be in the front area. And we're not going to play out this combat today because we're a little limited to time, and we're here to play Evolve more than Ryuutama. But I do want to do one thing just for fun to show something that would be fun with summoning a squall in Arium here. And in Ryuutama, basically, the terrain is the way that you decide it, aside from the areas, is you try to add some fun, unique terrain features. You're supposed to come up with 5 basically objects or features of the terrain, and either the enemies or the players can use each one a single time. And when it's used, they describe how they use it to their advantage, and then that object is removed from the map from being used again. So let's have you guys just go ahead and let's just see if you guys can throw out 5 features of the terrain that we would have fought in here. And just type them out. Ready, set, go. When we got 5 of them, we'll call it good.
Do we have to, like, it doesn't have to be physical terrain? Can it be elements of what's around as well? Okay.
Sure can. It can be like an element. It can be a physical feature. It can just be any element of the terrain in the surrounding area that either an enemy or an ally could use to their advantage.
Wait, are we doing 5? Are we at 5?
Yeah, we're there.
Oh, shoot.
We're good.
Okay.
So sorry.
No, that's fine. 5-ish. It's 5-ish. You can do 5 to 10. So a
Sorry.
huge gust of wind. No, don't be. That's great. All right. So if we were theoretically going to go into Ryuutama combat, we would go into initiative, and our players would draw their blades and axes and magic, and we would fight some mosquitoes with a throwable net, a hollow log, the last hollow log, a very scrummy pond, a huge gust of wind, cook fire smoke that makes mosquitoes sleepy, and one hungry Kanoko goblin. And basically, the enemies could consume these up to get a bonus, or you guys could as well. And
Okay.
we'd fight it out until there was a resolution.
Hmm.
But we only have a little bit of time left, and I would like to be able to spend that time to do a quick little wrap up and talk about Evolve with the creators. So thanks so much for playing, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
You guys found
This is
some
really, this is
food?
really fun. I really like Ryuutama. I'm gonna have to play this more. I actually have the book sitting right here on my desk. I've had this game for like 10 years and I've never played it. So thank you so much for letting me play it.
Yeah, of course. It was a great time.
Yeah, this was
And you
a
know,
blast.
I think you guys were about to kill some mosquitoes and cook them up again. So it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
I was gonna put on a feast.
Oh my goodness. We would have the way we would have feasted.
Mhm, mhm.
Chase,
All
could
right,
we all narrate just like one little closer for our characters?
Mhm.
Like if I wanted to do one for the way Miri fights, and then if Drew wanted to do one for what cooking that up would look like, would that be okay? They're like 1 minute each.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with mine, the Kanoko goblins. They see the mosquitoes and they all shove their mouths full of cooked mosquito, and one of them screams, "Bleed suckers!" And they all go running away.
Bleed suckers is so funny.
Bleed suckers, right? And Raekwon is caught off guard by the term, but there is one little runt of a Kanoko dragon at my heels, staring up longingly at the giant, the giant piece of meat that was given back to me, and I want to share, but I'd rather let this little guy feast. And so Raekwon picks up the Kanoko goblin and hurls it at one of the oncoming bleed suckers, who has fallen drowsily because it was consumed by the gust of wind blowing the cook fire through its face.
Excellent.
That's incredible.
Do you have the Puss in Boots big eyes looking at the mosquito meat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think for Mary, she has actually a humongous axe. So she pulls what looks like a pole off of her back, and then she does like the little shink, and this giant axe head comes out of nowhere. She is not accurate with this thing. It is heavy. It takes forever to swing, but for whatever reason, Mary thought the bigger the weapon, the better it would be in combat. And these horribly long, clumsy swings. But whenever she does make contact, it is a devastating explosion of blood. It maybe not even be ideal to have us have food after this, but she is squeamish. She doesn't like this. And at the end, she wipes her blade on the grass and sits and pouts while she watches the rest of this get cooked. She doesn't want to eat it. She doesn't like eating the bugs, but she will.
Amazing. And what about Hatake?
I think Hatake will wait for a moment that makes sense when the mosquitoes are basically all in one area and summon thorny briars around them to keep them contained, and allow the allies to deal with them. Yeah. And
Excellent.
kind of just sit back and be like, yeah, I did my job. That's right.
Well,
Fun fact, thorny briars lowering their initiative also lowers their armor. Because that's the same thing in this game.
Most excellent.
Nice.
Well, little known fact, thorny briar is an excellent smoking wood for.
We're about to combo.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. Excellent. And with that, our heroes prepare for less hunger and more feast on big old mosquitoes.
Yum yum.
And we'll call that an evolved Ryuutama session. So thank you,
Awesome.
you guys.
Oh boy, I'm not muted.
I loved it. I loved the stress singing. You've got more hilled and mountainous regions to the north.
Chase, pause.
Yep.
Dogs.
Oh, Frank. I love Frank. Tell him I said hi.
We certainly shall. Oh, my mic's not picking up my weird muttering. Editor, take that shit out. Thank you.